All right. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Mary Beth Fleming, and I'm so glad you could join us today. We host this call every single Tuesday. It's with different hosts in our community, and we usually have a different topic that we talk about. And today I'm really excited to be here with a couple of my colleagues, Anna Roberts and Rebecca DeSalle, and we are all mothers and parents. And we are here today to talk about how organic nutrition is an extremely important part of our lives, and specifically how Purium Organic Superfoods has played a huge role in our ability to feel safe around what we are feeding our families, and extremely passionate about sharing health and wellness with others, as well as a viable way to enhance your family's financial well-being in the process. So we are here to share a message of health and wealth freedom through our stories. We are committed to improving the quality of our lives and our families by improving the quality of the food we eat and transforming our food systems by divesting from chemical agriculture, investing in regenerative food practices that enhance family dynamics and send a ripple effect into creating healthier communities. We're also equally passionate about helping people improve the quality of their life by making an impact and an income, especially as mothers who want to spend as much time as possible with their children and provide quality opportunities and experiences for our families. So to get us started, I'm going to just share a few staggering statistics about our food system that you may not be aware of. Maybe go ahead and drop a yes or a no in the chat if you've heard this before. But current estimates suggest that we only have 60 years of topsoil left. 60 years, which basically means 60 harvests left. And I mean, when you think about it, what does this mean for our families? What does this mean for our society? What does this mean for us as individuals? Healthy soil is essential for healthy plant growth, for human nutrition, for water filtration. Soils help us to regulate the Earth's climate, and our soils store more carbon than all of the world's forests combined. So as concerned parents and stewards of this earth, we are here to talk about solutions in terms of learning where to source your food from, sourcing food that's grown in high quality soils, knowing where our food comes from, knowing what's in our food, and supporting companies and movements like Purium that are educating around soil regeneration, decreased carbon footprint, and the consumption of real food. So what I mean by real food is food that is grown in healthy soils and in its pure form. So another staggering statistic that I learned the other day, I wasn't aware that this number is so high, is that more than 10,000 chemicals are allowed in the food that we eat in the United States. Many of these chemicals are banned in other countries, but we allow them here in the United States for some reason still. And more than 3,000 additives and preservatives are intentionally added to our food. And in most of the food, most of the food contaminated with herbicides and pesticides the most are what our healthy foods should be, which is fruits and vegetables. So what we want to do is help educate people around where do we source high quality real foods so that we're nourishing our bodies and nourishing our families and knowing what we are feeding our children. The chemicals sprayed on our food and our soils are depleting our health at rapid rates. And you see this with the increase in all kinds of food sensitivities and autoimmune disorders and allergies and so on and so forth in the last 30 years or so. And another statistic that is very recent is that 99% of the soils in the US are deemed depleted. And this is in large part because of the widespread chemical agriculture and pharmaceutical complexes that are dumping chemicals into our soils and creating havoc in our environments, and then also creating havoc in our internal environments because of it, our bioecosystems are all related. So today we are here to talk about some solutions for families and individuals who are looking for high quality sources of real food and real nutrition. We are going to be sharing our personal stories and experiences with our families and this Purium premium nutrition and how it's supporting small organic farming practices, how it's rebuilding the soil with regenerative farming practices and our biodegradable packaging, and how we as a collective are educating and providing solutions around pervasive chemicals like glyphosate that are plaguing our food systems, our bodies, and our soils. We are here to pave the way for a global mission to help people eat better, feel better, and live better. And our goal is to help people and families nourish themselves with real foods and tap into the power of nature by enjoying the wide variety of Mother's nature bounty in its purest form, and thus experiencing a high quality of life as a result. So personally, a little bit about my story is I grew up knowing about organic farming. My mom was an organic gardener. I knew the difference between preservative foods and real foods, but I still found myself eating a lot of chemical food, even though I knew it wasn't good for me. In school, the food we're fed at cafeterias isn't that good. We go on these trips for sports and we go to fast food places, we go to friends' houses. And I found myself eating a lot of food that I knew wasn't good for me, but I didn't know what else to eat because everyone else was eating it. And as a result, in my early teens, I started suffering from chronic acne. I had adrenal fatigue, kidney fatigue. I had chronic tonsillitis. I was getting injured way more than I should have been. And I just wasn't as healthy as a teen should be. And that was, 15, 20 years ago. And so when my mom also started to experience some decline in her health, we as a family got on board to really learn more about what the food we're eating, grow more of our own food, and really learn about how shifting our diets can transform our lives. And in my early 20s, because of the shifts I made in my diet to deciding to eat fully organic, learning more about growing my own gardens, getting rid of all the preservatives, the processed sugars, getting rid of the dairy that wasn't serving me. In my early 20s, I was thriving. I was in my best athletic shape. All those cystic acne and chronic tonsillitis had gone away. But again, when I became a mother 5 years ago, I was 13 months postpartum and I went into postpartum depletion. And I was like, how is this possible? I'm one of the healthiest people I know. I'm educating myself. I'm sourcing my food from what I think is high quality sources, yet I'm experiencing this depletion. So I kind of went down a rabbit hole of learning and educating myself more about how depleted our soils really are, and primarily about this pervasive herbicide called glyphosate that is all over in our soils, in our rainwaters, on our lawns, in our food systems. Glyphosate is banned in many countries, including Mexico and Europe, but we still use it on our crops here in America. And what it's doing is it's getting into our bodies and really wreaking havoc on our gut microbiome and creating chronic inflammation and so many other things in our pets, in our babies, and in our adult lives. And so I started to learn and seek solutions. How can I get this glyphosate out of my body? And how can I really source food from not only organic soils, but regenerative soils that are focusing on replenishing the minerals and the vitamins so that it's actually transferring to our food. And this is when I learned about the company Purium. And so I jumped on board of taking this nutrition, which my friend Anna is going to go into detail about for you all, but about 4.5 years ago. And within my first 2 months of taking it, all of my postpartum depletion symptoms went away. My hair started growing back. My nails weren't breaking anymore. I was getting restful sleep. My moods had calmed down. I was experiencing a lot more emotional stability, less anxiety. And it's been 4.5 years since I've been continuous on this amazing organic nutrition. And I've had 2 kids since then. Didn't experience any postpartum depletion with either of them because of this nutrition. My kids, it's really enhanced our quality of life as a family because we've never had to go to a doctor yet. They've never been severely injured. They know the difference between when they eat something that's good for them and when it's not, and how it makes their body feel. And they're really educating themselves about what organic food can do for their own bodies and how it can make them have so much energy and be healthy while some of their friends are continuously sick, and so on and so forth. For my husband as well, he came over to the United States from Guinea, West Africa 4 years ago. So I had just started my Purium journey. And when he came from a diet primarily of rice and bread. And he suffered from chronic malaria most of his life. He had typhoid and many other diseases that really had plagued his system. And when he first came, he was really quite sick for the first couple months. And I slowly started introducing this real food into his life, this organic nutrition. And it took a little time for him to get used to it. But now, 4 years in, he is on such a consistent and amazing routine that I get sick more than he does. Like, he's doing amazing. He's in real amazing athletic shape. And it's allowed him to let go of other unhealthy habits. So he actually quit smoking in the process of bringing Purium into his life, because he used to use tobacco for energy, and now he realizes he can get it from his food. And so this organic nutrition has completely transformed my family's health and well-being in that way. And it's been an amazing journey. And I'm just so passionate to share about it with other families and parents who are concerned about what's going on in our food system and seeking for solutions for themselves. So real quickly, I'm going to bring on my colleague, Rebecca, who is 9 months pregnant with her 7th baby. And she is also a homesteader, grows her own food, avid about knowing where her food comes from. And I'm going to let her share a bit of her journey in this Purium realm as well, and how it supported her and her family. So jump on, Rebecca.
Hey, thanks, Mary. It's always so great to hear your story, and just you always grow my knowledge. So thank you so much. Yeah, for us, it's been a long journey, because we've known for since 2007 that we needed to pivot and make some serious health changes on behalf of my husband, who ultimately went under surgeries to remove his large intestine and his rectum with ulcerative colitis, and really not understanding at all what was going on in his health. We began to pivot at that point, and it's been this continual pivot. And it's now that I feel like I have the tools and the resources that I needed so long ago, when no one was talking about it and you couldn't find the information from your doctor. So 5 years ago, we took ourselves more seriously, and we bought a homestead. So we steward 55 acres of land. That affords us the ability to do so much, really. We grow all of our own meats. We raise in a massive garden. I could never eat or store as much as I can raise. So it's been fun to provide that for an expanding community around us now as well. And then other such things like our orchard. It is for us the quality of life to be able to interact with the innocence of the animals, to know that what is most on point for us is our sourcing. I just got back from the grocery store before this call, and it saddens me to my core to see people hunched over and limping up to check out, and they're buying beer and dressing and fruit punch Peeps and pre-wrapped burritos, and you just look and you correlate. And I teach my kids to do this through the lens of charity, mind you, through the lens of praying for the people who don't yet know, who are not yet awake in this way, but to look and to correlate. Look at the quality of the life they're living. Look at the quality of the food they are buying. So we take this very seriously, because this is a high road choice. It's not easy. We're not doing it for profit. We're doing it for purpose. We're doing it because I am truly scared that my kids will not have food choices at their local grocery store. We are a large family. We can't only exclusively shop at the organic foods market, though I would love to. But going to our grocery store, I always tell people there's about 2% of foods in there, 2% that I would continue to purchase. And that's less every day. So it's pretty scary. We have to be activists. We have to vote with our dollar. For us, one of our other real needs is feeding people fast. We're athletes, we are travelers, we're adventurers. We don't want to spend all day in the kitchen. So with Purium, I have been able to exchange convenience that used to harm for convenience that regenerates our bodies. And I look at my oldest 2 sons, and I know full well I thought I was being a great mom feeding them plain Cheerios, and a lot of them, like boxes worth. They're the 2 kids of all of ours that have anything wrong with their health, which we're now actively correcting. But looking at the pivots we made, even after they were toddlers or young boys, and knowing that my children now, how much healthier they are. They speak of things like food combining. They speak of things like, I mean, just the expansion of their knowledge base is so heartwarming to me. It brings me hope. So what Purium has allowed me to do is really reverse some things generationally. Firstly, in my health and those of my kids, because they are my progeny, and this one's coming right up. But also, and I'll touch on it just because I know we'll segue into that, but reverse my wealth story too. So to feel like I found that in one spot couldn't be more special and more powerful. So I'm truly lit up just to educate, to help family and friends and fans to be informed and to have choices. Really, we do have choices. there is food truth out there. So we got to find it.
Thank you, Rebecca. And I just find your story so inspiring because you are a homesteader and you do produce a lot of your own food, and you still are benefiting from finding and collaborating with other companies and families that are using organic nutrition as well to enhance their lives, because it's not just one thing. It takes many things to live a healthy life. And that's what we're really here to do, is just help bring all the pieces together so we can all thrive. So thank you, Rebecca. And we'll bring you back on in a little bit. And now I'm going to have Anna, my other friend and colleague, share, who's also 9 months pregnant. She's going to share how this is enhancing her family's life, and then also break down a little bit more of what is the Purium nutrition that we're talking about.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mary Beth and Rebecca. I love hearing your stories. So impactful, and reminds me that this is true for everyone. So unlike Mary Beth, I did not really have organic options growing up. And I want to rewind and say that the way this has impacted my family goes back before I had children. And the way this is I realized I was sick, and I had been sick basically my whole life because of the standard American diet. My parents were doing the best they could, of course, but you only know what you know. And so I was raised on the processed foods, the microwave, all of that. And because of that, chronic illness developed, such as ear infections and UTIs and yeast infections, depression, anxiety, and so on. Severe constipation was the other one I've had since I was a baby. And so I made a choice for myself and also for my future children to make a change and start eliminating these foods that were so negatively impacting my life. And about 2 years into eliminating these foods and adding more fruits and veggies into my life, more herbs, I was still sick. I was still experiencing these symptoms. It was better. My energy was better. And I was very passionate about this new regenerative path I had found. But I needed more answers. And that's when I learned about soil health. And then that's when Mary Beth came into my life and educated me on these nutrients I'm about to share with you. And these nutrients are grown in regenerative soil. So it's getting all of that minerals and vitamins that our bodies need that come from the earth, that so many of our typical food in our grocery stores do not have anymore. So we can only be as healthy as our soil. And that really rang true for me. And then once I started implementing these products into my life, it really rang true for me as I felt the impacts of more energy and vitality and just really that sense of coming home to myself that possibly I've never experienced my whole life due to the chemicals that were blocking that. So fast forward 1.5 years later, after I started these nutrients, my body was strong enough to naturally get pregnant and had a beautiful pregnancy. However, my body was still detoxing. My body was still delayering all of these years that I had put on this toxicity, a lifetime really. So I still experienced a pretty intense UTI and yeast infection during my first pregnancy 2 years ago. And I'm happy to say that is the last I've ever seen of it, not even showing its head. So this is a huge celebration and honestly a really new transformation story for myself. This is like the first time I'm sharing it because now here I am in my second pregnancy 2 years later, and I realized I haven't been sick this whole time. And that is just a really speaks to this delayering and continuing to implement these nutrients. I haven't really changed too much more in my life, rather than I just keep doing it every day. And therefore my cravings are less, and my cravings for processed food are, I would say, zero at this point. And this goes for my son as well. And I give thanks to I give thanks for this because he got this nutrients during utero, and he got this the first moments of his life through my breast milk, and he's been supported by these nutrients ever since. And just like Mary Beth's children, besides a common cold here and there, he's never sick, which is completely different than my childhood. So I am extremely grateful. Here I am in second pregnancy, feeling super strong and ready. And I'm just really passionate about this because it gave me my life back. And it, in addition, it's given me 2 more lives too that are strong and who have come out craving food, real food that we're speaking to today. When I give my son a choice of crackers or a banana or any type of fruit, he's always going to go for that whole food. And this is because his taste buds and his body is not tainted by chemicals that make us crave otherwise. And for this, I'm extremely passionate about. So I'm really excited to go into what are these nutrients that I'm talking about, right? I have them all here for a little visual. So my partner and I, we're very busy. We're entrepreneurs, body workers, musicians. We're on the road a lot, and this is key for us. So I'm going to start with, in the morning, my partner and I just pop one of these each. And this is what removes the glyphosate. It's called Biomedic, and it's only clinically proven mixture of herbs and pre and probiotics to do so. So that's a really easy way just to get our to cleanse our gut, to repair it, and to be on our way. I speak to that one first because without cleaning the glyphosate out of our gut and repairing the gut, our bodies actually can't absorb the amino acids and nutrients that all of this expensive food that we're paying for, like I want to get every little bit of nutrients from this food that I'm buying in the grocery store. So this has been a blessing of that I know that I'm actually absorbing the nutrients. But sometimes we don't have time to cook up a nice nutritious meal or even make a salad. And so that brings me to our power shake here. It's a nice green powder and it's all alive, dehydrated at low levels so that it stays alive until you mix it with, or it's like in a dormant state until you put water in it, and then it becomes alive and vibrant. And as Rebecca was saying, we are what we eat. When we eat this alive food, it brings us alive. And I'm actually drinking it right now too. And so this is like, my partner and I are running out the door like, okay, thank goodness we have our power shake to secure that foundation of nutrition for our day. And another very easy and convenient way we get our nutrition are from these easy tablets. There are aminos. They just look like that. And we pop about 5 of those in the morning because I'm pregnant. I do 5 later on in the day as well when my energy is starting to lower. And I know this way my body's getting that support. And I'm also helping my baby grow and build those tissues because the amino acids are our building blocks of life. So another really easy way, we just like keep it in our purse or in the car, keeps me from being hangry. That's one of the biggest things I've noticed. It keeps me from, like reaching for those potato chips or whatever it is, because my body is actually being nurtured as well as my partner and baby. This one has been off limits for me for a couple years now because it is the one that's contraindicated for pregnancy and breastfeeding, because this is what's getting the parasites out of our system. And this little herbal capsule as well. They're very powerful, guys. My partner takes them on occasion when he knows he needs that extra support to clean out the parasites. And last, but definitely not least, as a parent, sometimes we don't get as much, especially uninterrupted sleep as we would like. And so those moments that we do get, I want them to count. And I want them to really nourish my body and be efficient. So this is our one liquid product. It's called Apothecary, and it is just the one ingredient of organic tart cherries. And that really supports our circadian rhythm, helps with our melatonin production to get us into that deep REM state so that we can really just help the body detoxify from the day. And then we wake up feeling super vibrant. Especially being pregnant, this has been kind of like my ibuprofen, if you will. It's incredible for pain and taking down inflammation. So, and I can't not speak to this since we are talking about families here. This is probably one of my favorites, the Epigenius family. It's a blend with kids in mind, but it's for everyone. I love it. It gives me the best boost. It has all your protein and veggies, fruits, and gut support. So as I said, that my partner and I, we get our gut support from the Biomedic through capsule form. Our toddler is also getting it through this blend. So that's a little bit about how we go about our day and how we implement these beautiful nutrients into our life, and just can't speak enough to them. They've been literally a lifesaver for me.
Awesome, Anna. And I've been watching Anna's journey the last 4 years that we've been working together in this way. And it's been amazing to see your transformation and how lit up you are about helping other people transform their lives, especially when they have young kids and families. So those are just like a handful of Anna's favorite nutrients that we have. But as a company, we have over 70 nutrients. And like Anna was saying, everything is dehydrated via wind and solar. It's picked vine ripe on the farm. It goes to our facility in California where there's an in-house microbiologist, and everything is triple tested for heavy metals and chemicals and so on and so forth. So when it gets to you at your door, you know that you have pure, clean food in your hands that is convenient and easy to take on the road or do whatever you're doing as a busy person. And the other thing that I'll speak to, which is so amazing about our company, is we're not only invested in helping people enhance their health, but we're also invested in helping people enhance their wealth, because the reality is it costs money to be healthy these days, especially with, everything that we're exposed to and the lifestyles that many of us live in, high stress. And so our company wants to empower people who feel inspired by sharing education around health and wellness. They want to empower them with a way to make a living too. And I know for us, the three of us on this call, being home with our kids and experiencing their life is like my very top priority over everything else. And so, but I also have this deep passion within me that I can't just keep it for me. Like, it's selfish to not share the transformation I've been through. It's selfish not to share with other families what I know I'm using that is really working for me. And so our company has an amazing affiliate program where if you get these nutrients, or if you're looking for a way to be part of a mission, to be part of a company, to be part of a community that is every day working on solutions for decreasing glyphosate in our bodies and in our communities, increasing education and knowledge around regenerative farming. Our packaging that Anna was showing you is 100% biodegradable. You just peel the label off and bury it in your backyard when you're done. So us as a company in the last 3 years has saved over 120,000 pounds of plastic from going to the ocean. So really, we are a holistic company with a holistic vision of how many people can we share this mission with. And when you do that, we get rewarded for it. We get compensated for that, for being the people that are sharing their stories and sharing their transformations. And personally, beyond the health transformations, the financial transformation has been enormous for me. When I first found Purium, I was struggling as a single mom to really put organic food on the table. And I was working 4 different jobs, and I was feeling my passion dwindle because I didn't have enough energy to share my mission anymore. I just had enough energy to barely make it through the day. And when this company came at me with an opportunity to get healthy and then an opportunity to advance my wellness my wealthness at the same time, I jumped on board and I quickly dove into the community. I met the owners. We're a family owned and operated company, so everyone is really tight knit. And I just became 100% on board with this mission. And 4.5 years later, In 2 years, I created a 6-figure business here, and 4.5 years later, we are continuing to grow. And every single day I get to see thousands of people not only change their health, but also get to change their wealth through this avenue of sharing what they're most passionate about. So, Anna, I'd love if you could just chime in a little bit about that. And you too, Rebecca, a little bit about how partnering with this company and this community has changed your financial well-being as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a really easy decision because I did feel the impact so quickly, and I started telling my friends and family, just like we do when we like something, right? Netflix or whatnot. So um, that was an easy decision for me, knowing that I could be compensated for my heartfelt shares anyways. And it's really impacted my life because before this, I was a full-time massage therapist, working all the hours of the day, doing 6 to 7 sometimes massages, and that worked really well as a single individual. But now that I have children, that's not the reality I want to create. I want to be home with my children, and that's exactly what this company has allowed me to do. And just being with my son right now and being in this beautiful pregnancy bubble, and knowing that I have a team supporting me and a community here with me is everything. It's like Mary Beth was saying, it's not just for me, it is to share. I can't keep this to myself at this point, because that is my greater vision, is to see mamas, feel healthy in their body, especially after pregnancy, and then B, to get to actually raise their children instead of passing them off for someone else to do so. And we were also able to live in Hawaii last summer, and that was a dream come true. And I was doing fun Zoom meetings and just working from the heart. All of the values of this company completely align and actually go above and beyond my values before I learned about their values. Now I've had to up level to catch up with this company because it's really beautiful, big stuff that we're doing here. Rebecca, take it away.
Thanks, Anna. I feel so similarly that just the personal development of all of this space has been incredible. And one thing that has developed most is just having a yes life, getting to say yes to my children in so many other ways over the good things that they want and need in this life. And so just taking and greatly reducing any of my anxieties around money and providing and keeping my husband home so that there's actually an actual farmer doing most of the homesteading, not just me. These are all realities that have really set in for us. And I know I used to go to bed at night and my husband would nervously tap his toe, tap, tap, tap. There was a restlessness of how do we provide? We know we want a big family. We know we want experiences. And this has been, it just continues to grow. It continues to develop me. And more than anything, I'm seeing the ease and convenience of the monetary side. I can't speak to it enough, the way it has liberated my thinking and my actions to feel aligned with others who I deeply care about and want the same for them. So more than me seeking, how can I gain? How can I win? This company is so selfless. And I love that because that very much aligns. So just helping others to develop and to grow, because we do know that so much of life just comes down to the dollar in our bank account. So I love that we have a freedom vehicle here, and I drive it happily every single day and try to steward it the best I can. And it's available for everyone. That's the other thing, is I've been coaching since 2007, coaching women. And I always felt like the big missing link was what to do with nutrition. I thought I knew, but I knew I didn't know. And this has filled that void. I've been able to come in equal to all of my colleagues and start at this beautiful ground zero in a fully supported way, where now I didn't have to say, I'm going to wait for making income while I go get this certification, that certification. Of course, we have that available to us to continue to learn. and become even better providers and practitioners ourselves. But you don't have to have all of that to be greatly impactful and to make that commensurate income too. So it's such a blessing. I wouldn't be without it.
Yeah, beautiful, Rebecca. And you make me think of a quote from Mother Teresa. She says, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across many waters to create a ripple." And that's exactly what we're doing here and what this company Purium has done for all of us, and we get to do together as a community. So we so appreciate you coming on this call today. We know time is an extremely valuable resource. And if you were interested about anything you heard here, if you want to learn more details, just reach out to the person who invited you, and they can get you on a little discovery call, and you can talk about some of your health goals or how this nutrition might benefit you. And then if you are looking for more of that freedom lifestyle and looking for ways to work on your own hours, work flexibly, work with a community that you feel passionate about and motivated by, there's the opportunity to partner with us as well. So just get with the person who invited you. They can share all the details with you. And like I said, we're here every Tuesday. We have different hosts, different stories, different topics, but we're always focusing it around how to provide health and wealth solutions to people in a way that we feel really passionate about. So thank you so much for coming, and I'll stop the recording in case there's anyone on the call that has questions about anything we shared today. If you just want to raise your hand or jump off mute, you sure can.